What is up, guys? It is Brad back on the channel with another live stream. This one was a bit last minute, so massive credit to our guests for coming along. This is a massive game. Once again, we've been put on the telly. Sky must have a thing for us at the minute. I think that's Stoke Derby. Yeah, there's 3 within like the same month. This is a huge game. We've just discussed, me and the guest, about how, you know, we've got the points, they've got the games in hand. It's all to play for in this league. And from a neutral perspective, you look at the table, I think, you know, from Stoke in 11th to Blackburn in 3rd, who knows what the playoff's going to be. It's an absolute lottery at the minute. The bookies must be having a field day. But we'll just have to wait and see what the Town and the Blades tomorrow have in store for us. We've got Ben from Travelling Blade, also known as Travelling Blade, along. And he's a Sheffield United fan, and we're going to be previewing this game. So we'll get Ben in now. Hi, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks. Yourself?
Good. So this is one of them games, and it's a Yorkshire, you know, it's a little Yorkshire derby, I suppose. There's not a massive hatred there or anything, but it's a Yorkshire game at the end of the day, and you can expect the atmosphere will be brimming. Have you sold the allocation out, or?
Yeah, I think we have. All week on Twitter, I've just seen loads of Sheffield United fans going, any spares for Huddersfield also. We must have done, because everyone's like been scraping around for tickets. So yeah pretty sure it's a sellout from us.
Yeah, you would expect it, wouldn't you? A big club like Sheffield United. So first things first, looking at the team news, we've got our Spanish right back Pippa back in. A certain man who scored a certain goal in the other fixture that might have broken quite a few hearts at Bramall Lane is still not available with injury, so you don't have to worry. He's not gonna do that again. But yeah, we have to go back to the other game, I suppose. I remember watching your video, and you did say about how he'd had a good start and how it was one of those where I think you were looking for your first win, weren't you? And you were kind of...
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it up now. Was it back in September?
It was first goal, that rate. You wanted to score your first goal because you'd lost and drawn.
We were very, very poor.
It was
honestly the start of the season for us. Yeah, the start of the season for us. To be fair, it was only, I think it was like, looking at this, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th league game of the season. But I think we did actually. It looks like we did score that game. I think it was a 2-1 at the start. But we were just the start of the season under Jokanovic was just so really boring football, just really, really sideways passing, just absolutely toothless. And it was hence why we were like in the relegation zone for like up until like the end of October. But yeah, but with Jokanovic now, things are starting to click back together. We're starting to see that nice fast flowing attacking intent. We had
definitely
the second goal on whatever day it was now against West Brom. There's a load of passes beforehand.
Yeah.
And then a brilliant first time finish from Billy Sharp, who it just seems to be getting better for us. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he's got like at least 10 goals this season now. I think he's got about 4 assists as well. He's definitely our top scorer. I think he's our first or second highest assister as well. He's genuinely like being our best player. And as much as I'm sort of thinking we can't rely, and it's sort of like nuanced for me, because I absolutely love Billy Sharp. Obviously, he's a Blades legend, and he's actually doing really, really well for us. But it's just the fact that we haven't been able to replace him, which is when you've spent around £50 million on McBurney and Brewster combined, and neither of them are able to like get anywhere near to the ability of Sharp's producing, and he's like 36. It's questionable. So
it's
not, although it's nice to see Sharp doing well, the fact that we're still relying on him, it's nice, but I don't want it to be just him. I think he'll be playing for us.
You want another outlet, don't you?
Yeah, just someone else. Like, I mean, to be fair, Bruce's injured now. He's going to be out for the season with like some hamstring operation. McGoldrick, who's a very good footballer, but he's not the best finisher, but he did do well in the promotion season. He's going to be out for a bit. We've just got Jebison back on loan from Burton, but we've been doing well for Burton, but he's young and it's been in League One, so he's very inexperienced. We've got
Yeah, of
Njai,
course.
who's a bright talent, but he's like a bit of a rough diamond, as shown by his miss the other night. So basically, we've just got Billy Sharp, and that's it. He's the only good striker we've got.
As you Blades always say, Billy Sharp scores goals, and he's done it for a long time in every English league known to man. So you can never rule him out. I mean, 5'9", you think he wouldn't be able to hold the ball up or score with his head, but he's done it plenty of times. So
yeah,
it's one of them where you can never look at Billy and go, "Oh, we'll be fine today." He's always got a goal in him, however it may be. He finds a way to get it in the net, and sometimes it's not the glorious goals that mean the most.
No.
Sometimes it's do you know what? If we could get a striker that scored 30 tap-ins a season, that's fine by me. You know, no issue there.
Yeah.
You know, we're both teams that have recently been in the Premier League, and our second season for both of us was embarrassing, and we both kind of accepted that quite early on, and didn't win many games at all. And to come back down, you think you're going to win games, and it really hits hard.
No.
I mean, you could argue to a point we had it worse than you, because, to be honest, we lost everyone and we were in a relegation battle straight away. It was relegation battle and then another one, so that was awful.
Yeah.
But it's one of them. We both know how it goes now and what to expect. So, like I say, for us, we've only got the one lad out injured, the one who scored the winner in the other fixture. I think, obviously, looking at you lot back then, like you say, it was toothless. You held the ball well, you moved it well, but no clinical edge, no final. Your final ball was good, and then there was no one there or anything, and it was like a jigsaw, and not went in. And I think, obviously, you accept that, and in the new system now, I think we're both playing much better football.
Yeah.
Going to your last few games, it's been a bit, it's been good. Obviously, I mean, you've got the loss at Wolves in the cup, and then losing to Derby, which was massively unexpected. But anyone who loses to Derby at the minute, or up until they went on that run, was unexpected. Then a draw at Preston, which I believe you bottled, didn't you? You were 2-0 up.
2-0 up against 10 men.
And then you beat Luton. You beat Peterborough, you beat Birmingham, and you beat West Brom. Do you think it's writing on the wall that we're going to get a red card tomorrow? Because I'm looking in these 5 games, and you're having a red card every other game given for you.
We seem to be clocking up quite a few red cards against us. Whether it's straight red, second yellows, but that the Preston game. I'm trying to think. Obviously, the other day, amongst some others as well. I think like the Luton one as well. I think we had ended up against 10 men against them. So I don't know. It could be. I think it might be quite tasty. These 12:30 Yorkshire derbies.
Definitely,
they get tasty. They get tasty, to be fair. So I wouldn't be that surprised if there's a man.
I have got a bit of feeling that there's going to be a bit. I don't know. There's always something in there, and with it being as important as it is, it's like O'Brien. I'm sure you're aware how good O'Brien is and how crucial he's been for our season, and obviously the interest from Leeds. But he's been with us for a long time through the academy and everything. And he said in the presser today, we look at each game once at a time, and I think every footballer says that at some point. They never ever say that they look at the table, but we all know for a fact that they do. They don't say that they do, but we know that the position that we're in, the position you're in, we'll both be looking to seal a playoff spot at this stage, especially with the runs that we're both on. And this game's a massive step forward for whichever team takes it, or if neither team takes it. We'll say all this, and it'll probably be 0-0. That's just
really crap, drab 0-0.
Yeah, like someone hits the bar or something, and then that's about it, really. But I mean, we're in the best form we've been in about a decade. I'm not even going to lie to you, mate. I don't think I've ever gone into a game with less stress on my shoulders. We've not lost since November against Middlesbrough.
Wow.
But can you even technically not count it? Of course it counts, but they just got a manager. And when we play a team with a new manager, we may as well pack up stuff and go home, because you know what the curse is like. If they got a new manager, there's no point. Same happened with Forest, the first win at season. But Yeah,
we did really well against. It was Steve Bruce's first game the other night,
yeah,
and to be fair,
of
it
course.
was fairly. I know they went down to 10 men, but it was fairly comfortable. To be fair, it wasn't. To say that West Brom earlier in the season put 4 passes at their place and were just, it was absolutely butchered us. And then now we're actually like level on points with them, if not above them. So, and it was first game bout Steve Bruce, but I think he got a nice welcome at Bramall Lane, given his recent affiliations with the other side in the city. So he got a good welcome. So we managed to flatten any bounce they were going to have that day.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I say, 13 unbeaten we are, and it's one of them where yes, there's wins, yes, there's draws. Like any team, there's a bit of both. A nice, comfortable, mix in that. But what kind of gives me a bit of confidence now is yes, we only had 1 shot on target on Wednesday at Preston, but there's a stat, and if you're a Town fan, it's common knowledge. Preston is a team we never, ever, ever win at. To get a draw, in my eyes, no matter how, I'll tell you, mate, now for one, it was dire, it was awful. Like, we may as well stay in bed, but actually looking at it and thinking, we'll be grateful for the point and the clean sheet at the end of the day, because we never, ever get anything at Preston. We always lose. To get a point, even when we got promoted to the Prem, we still lost that season. So that point in my head, that point thinks, come on, let's be realistic here. And go into the game on Saturday. Obviously, it's a game at home. You'd kind of, if you were going to throw a little bit of an edge, you'd throw us. But it all depends on which team turns up. So, what formation do you guys play now? Is it the same or?
To be fair, we still sort of play. I think it's more like that sort of 3-5-2, 5-3-2. Very, similar, not quite the same way as under Wilder, but 3 central defenders, 2 wing backs, 3 midfielders, 2 strikers. But one of the midfielders being a bit more of like a cam or a number 10 role, such as this season it's often been Morgan Gibbs-White, who's just starting to come back in. He came on as a sub on Wednesday. It's been David McGoldrick at times. So sort of like 3 midfielders, but 1 sort of like as a cam, and then 2 like sort of, I suppose, 2 number 9s, I guess, up front, but sort of like a 3-5-2, 5-3-2 kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's one of them formations you can kind of vary with, and the front 3 can almost act as kind of free roam and kind of run their own paths as long as they keep a good shape. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like you say, start of the season, you were definitely underachieving. Like, we all look at that squad, we know what it's capable of. There's some top players in there, like just from me looking at it now. Egan was a Premier League defender when he was there. So was Basham. Norwood used to play for us. I've seen him firsthand how class he was. Hurahan, we've seen him definitely out. Baldock in the Prem, and then Sharp,
Stevens.
obviously. And Stevens,
also, and then also a lot of players that have like your Brewster and McBurney that have like done absolute bits for Swansea in the Championship and not really turned it on for us yet.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one, and it happens because we had Danny Ward in the first half of the season. He couldn't have scored if there'd have been no one in there, and now we can't stop. So it's just,
I know the feeling. Yeah,
we eat humble pie at the end of the day, and we put his hands up and be wrong because if you're gonna slag them, admit when they're doing it right at the end of the day. So but yeah, ours is a bit of a weird one. We also played a 3-4-3, a 3-4-2-1, a 3, varied versions. It all depends on who's available. With Pippa back, we might go back to a back 4, with Tom Lees, who I'm sure you're familiar with, and Matty Pearson, both of which have been absolute soldiers for us this year. So fair play to them. We look transformed defensively after being the worst defensive team in the league last season. What's your record like at our ground?
I'm trying to think because we've sort of dodged each other a bit. I think over the last couple of years. I'm trying to think because I think you had 2 seasons in the Prem, didn't you?
Yeah, 17, 18, 18, 19.
Yeah, so that was the 2 seasons we had in the Championship, and then when you went, we leapfrogged you in the Prem.
Yeah,
2 seasons there. So I reckon this must be the first. Did you that season when you beat us at Wembley?
2012.
Yeah. Did you ever drop back down?
No, we stayed in the
So
chat.
that's
We
it. Must
always,
be the first time we've come here since 2012, then, or whatever.
it
When we
must
had
be
like
then, yeah. I mean, we
when it
always
was like
hovered.
Jordan Rhodes and Ched Evans, yeah.
We always hovered just above. We always managed to stay up. We
Yeah,
were
because
like that team that could grit it out.
the
And
season
then,
we went to Championship, you went to Prem for 2 seasons, and then when you came
yeah,
down, we leapfrogged, and then
yeah.
so yeah, I don't know what we did at that your ground that season, whatever we did when it was like Ched Evans versus Jordan Rhodes, like with the two like top strikers in the league that year. But
Yeah. Who
yeah,
knows?
but yeah, flipping it, I can't. It's first time I've been, but then I guess we've not played there for like
Yeah.
Christ 10 years.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, speaking of Jordan Rhodes, we do have him back. He got his first goal last Saturday.
Yeah.
So the writing could be on the wall there.
Oh, you
And with him being a
he always
former,
scores past us.
with him
He
being a
always does
former,
well.
then it's one of them where
Yeah.
and you
Him and
already know
Medine.
that he'll pull the celebration straight out as well. You know.
Oh. Yeah, well,
But
hopefully Billy Sharp's doing the same back at some
oh
point.
well, mate.
Oh,
For your case, maybe, but we're hoping for we're hoping.
yeah,
I mean, I just honestly, in all honesty, I respect how you've jumped up and you've definitely, got some foundations to get, and you've got results now. You've got foundations to get results. You've built the basics up again with a new coach, and you're getting it right now. So fair play. In the last 5, you won 4. In our last 5, we won 2 and drawn 3. So we're both, unbeaten in the last 5. So it's all to play for.
yeah. It should be a good game. Probably crap now we've said
like
that.
you say, 12:30 early kickoff, it always kind of jumbles a bit of something into it. It's almost like there's a bit of something different.
Adds another like layer to it, doesn't it? Like
if it's either
like, bit
early
on
kickoff
edge.
or late kickoff, there's always an added bit of kind of
atmosphere,
unforeseen atmosphere and action. So it's one of them where we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Aside from Billy Sharp, who we all know far and wide in this country, we know his record, we know his number, we know what he's capable of. Who would you tell us to watch out for?
At the minute, I would say there's 3 other players. One of them might not start. I'd say Iliman and Jai, number 29 up top, young lad. I'm not sure if he's French or Senegalese. I've heard a bit of both, but he's a bit of a rough diamond. He had a very good chance. It was through 1-on-1 the other night, and it was a good save, but it was a bad finish, if you know what I mean. But he's a really good, talented youngster on the ball.
The one that scored at Cottage.
Yeah, him that like side-footed it in from range. He's it's a rough diamond, but like they interviewed Wes Fodringham, our keeper, and they said, "Oh, who's the most talented player in the squad?" And he said, "NJ," and he's a young lad, really, quite an exciting prospect on the ball, great footwork, runs everything down. Gets. You think the ball's gone, it's like, oh, we're going out for like a goal kick or a corner.
Yeah.
He'll manage to like snatch it away from a defender and just sort of pirouette around some players and fashion some sort of chance out of it. Bogle on our right wing back, he's been really good. He's not the best defensively, he's getting better, but he's another one. He's really quick, really good footwork. He scored a brilliant goal against Birmingham City. Close range, but just his touch. He sort of like reboned it to control it and then just slotted it through the keeper's legs after that. It was a brilliant finish. And he's also one that's just sort of like, he'll chop and change and make good inroads into the box. So if you're left wing back and that's not that nimble, he could cause them a lot of issues, and that, like we saw at Peterborough. And if he starts or comes on, Morgan Gibbs-White, who we've got on loan from Wolves, brilliant attacking midfielder going forward. I'd say I think at points I was saying he's our best player in the team. A few others have caught up to him now, but he's had a bit of an injury, so he's just started. I can't remember when his last game was, but he only just came on as a sub on Wednesday. But he's been brilliant for us. He's got some goals, some assists, and you can sort of tell he's like almost a Premier League player, but just on loan at a Championship club. Yeah, he's just he's only 22, but he's quite mature. He's quite strong. You can see obviously he's maybe not good enough for Wolves, but he's been brilliant for us this season. Just the drive in him on the ball, and also he's not just his drive, but he's got a good, brilliant pass and a good finish on him as well. So I suppose those 3, and Jai, Gibbs-White, and Bogle.
Yeah, all pretty young players as well, from what I'm seeing, and sometimes it is the younger players that kind of have that energy and that thing. And our left wing back, who was our left wing back? Well, I'm trying to think of a day. No, we were quite lucky actually because we come up against that Derby player, that Ebisele. He's a right player, and he didn't half cause Sorba some problems, but that's the other side. Your perspective, from what you've seen of us, from what you've heard of us, who are the players that you're kind of not wanting to have an impact? Who are the ones that you look at us and think, you know?
Well, I've sort of been following Huddersfield from afar. I'm glad you mentioned the lad that got the late goal is off, but Jordan Rhodes, I'm not sure. Do you reckon he'll be starting or maybe come on as a sub? Because he is absolute poison for us, that lad.
To be honest, he is our sub striker, but we could in a game like this see to go 4-4-2 maybe. We could see to start two at the top, and I won't mind it, to be honest. We'll just have to see. But you say Rhodes, who else?
To be fair, I'm trying to think who else is in the squad now. I'm trying to think I'm trying to think that midfielder that I can't remember, but he had a right good game at Bramall Lane. I can't remember his name now. Bloody hell! But I just remember now as soon as you said Jordan Rhodes, just terrified every time because he's just one of them. He used to be Gary Medine, but then he played for us. But I'm sure if he played against us now, he'd score. But
yeah,
Jordan Rhodes was even if he comes on with 3 minutes, just he seems to score past us. Obviously, he's got the Wednesday relation, but he just seems to score part every single time he plays against us. He seems to have a really good. Just becomes like a world beater. Becomes like Ronaldo 9. But apart from that, to be fair, I'm struggling to think of it to name a player. I sort of follow other teams from a distance. But I just remember some midfield. I can't remember.
You think Luis O'Brien?
Midfielder.
Luis O'Brien.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Small ginger lad.
Yeah, I remember him having a really good game at Bramall Lane. I mean, at the same time we were crap, so he might have been playing okay. But I just remember him. I just remember him sort of like dominating midfield, and it was just. I remember him standing out, and I didn't get his shirt number. Thinking obviously, every time I noticed him on the ball, I was like, "Christ, it's him again!" And we sort of, so obviously, and also what you were saying earlier, it sounds like he is obviously going to be one of the go-to players on the pitch for you guys. So, and our midfield, hit and miss, can be brilliant in the same game. Like Birmingham away for Sander Berge first half, I thought was dreadful. Second half, he's playing some absolute peach of a through ball through to Sharp. So within the same game, a lot of our players will be like crap and good within the 5 minutes of each other. So if he can capitalise, I can definitely see one of our midfielders just mislaying a pass like we were doing the other night, and our defence was doing the other night. Just lazy passing, and someone like O'Brien in that, that as he's been brilliant for you this season, capitalising on that and causing us some problems in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it could be. What we'll do now is we'll just round it up with a score prediction and some questions that I ask pretty much everyone who I get on. So, score prediction, as you are the guest, we'll let you go first.
It's sort of a cop out. I think 1-1. I think we will score, but I think we have kept a lot of clean sheets, but we have made a few errors as well. And Fodringham's been brilliant, but I think I won't be surprised if we concede tomorrow. So I'll go 1-1.
So you think the win streak ends here?
Perhaps, yeah. I think we might be able to I can see us conceding. I think we definitely could win, given how we've been playing going forward. Yeah. But I think for me, it sort of depends on how well our defence and midfield do the boring stuff. If just the general basics.
The basics.
Turning the game over. We've been quite good at some nice, exciting attacking football, but if we get the boring stuff done well tomorrow, I think we should be okay for a win. But we can be inconsistent, and we have got mistakes in us.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, every team has them. It just depends if and when. I'm also going to go for a draw. Actually, quite funnily enough, I'm going to go for a 2-2. I've just got a thing for this game that it's going to be goals because you're coming out of a win. You're coming in a win streak. We're coming unbeaten. and I don't think either team's going to want to roll over, and it'll just
Yeah.
be end to end. We'll score first because we always do, and then we'll sit on the game then and there, like we always do. We try and defend 1-0 leads, and it never works, but we still continue to try it. I'm going to say O'Brien will score first. Then I think Gibbs White. No, he might not start, will he?
I'm not sure. I've got him. I predicted him to start on Fanhull, but I don't know. He did come on as a sub, but I'm not sure if he'll be starting. He could be. I really don't know. I think it's 50-50.
We'll go with that and Die lad because he seems hot stuff at the minute. O'Brien and Die, and then you're going to score again, Sharp, and then Rhodes is going to score in the last 10 minutes or whatever. Because that's writing on the wall stuff. That's typical. So we'll go with that. We'll go with 2-2. Just to do a couple of questions to round it off now, mate. Home games or away days?
Away days all the time.
Definitely, yeah. We've had a couple of people on, and some of them have said home games to my shock, but I don't think you can ever. Wow. No feeling like it, is there?
No, the home games they're okay, but it's a bit like, I don't know. For me, it's almost like one step up from like watching at home on TV or something. It's a nice day, but it's comfortable. Whereas like the away day, like the game's almost secondary a lot of the time with some of the away days. Like tomorrow's not the best because you ain't got much time before, but a lot of the time it's more like the day out, and then you get to the game, and you're like, oh yeah, we've actually got to watch a game now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a pub crawl, So
of course,
the away days, and plus this I don't know, it just adds another layer. Like scoring on an away day, a late winner, it's just on an away day. It's just like about 3 times as better.
Well, it's quite ironic, obviously, because our best away day, my best ever away day, was obviously this season at Bramall Lane, because I just don't think you can ever compare a last-minute winner to like that. It was crazy. And in the second half, it probably deserved, but over the whole game, you played some quite good stuff. You just couldn't finish. And I mean, let's hope you have some of that syndrome tomorrow. Let's hope that'd be nice. And that'd be nice. A quick question from Aidan: what has been your best stadium to visit?
This season it would have been. Oh, I mean, Luton was funny because you're walking us through gardens. It was. I won't say that was the best. That was the most interesting. This season where I've been recently, Molineux's rubbish because you get a rubbish away end. Cardiff's not that good. I've not been to that many good ones this season. Where else did I go? I'm trying to think where I've been. Not been the best. I think overall, my favourite stadiums, I sort of like the rubbish ones in a way. Sort of like, I remember going to Southend and thinking it's a proper like shed, that place. And thought this is, I like that as much as I like Old Trafford in a way. Yeah. I think this season, the best, I don't know, a lot of the Championship grounds are almost like quite faceless in a way. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I've never been. And it's like it's a bit more, it's a bit different. I suppose best ground.
It's a shame that it's not at 3 o'clock, to be fair, because I said this a couple of weeks ago. I reckon ours would be a good one to do because it's only about a tenner on train or a little drive up road.
Yeah.
And, there's plenty of pubs and spoons and all that. It'd probably been a good do for you, but you'll have to be up bright and early and on it, won't you?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think we'll be able to get like a couple of drinks in. I think best this season's. Probably I might go Preston just because you get a good allocation, perhaps. Birmingham is all right. Yeah. Birmingham is all right because I was like high up. Yeah, so a lot of them are quite faceless in a way, but like I think Birmingham is like literally falling apart. There's like bits that are like genuinely closed off. So, but I think some of my favourite to go to. I didn't go this season, but West Brom. I always like going there. I love that's a really good away end. I mean, it was bad for this season, but I couldn't go this time. But I do like West Brom. When I went, I've been once, and that's you can get a really good atmosphere going. Just the way they position you and sit you, you got that full on block. So that's a really good one to go to.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. One more question. Probably going to be an easy one, actually. Who is your favourite Sheffield United player of all time?
Of all time, Jamie Murphy, going a bit left field with this one. Jamie Murphy from the Nigel Clough days. We signed him in, I think, 2012, 2013. He left us at the start of like the 2015-16 season. And I don't like to admit it, but we've had some players that most other people would deem better than him, and maybe I agree, but I just think I think at the time, because I joined, I started going to games regularly in 2011. So basically the season we lost the junior playoffs, that was like my first proper season of going to games. And he came, I suppose, the season after that. And so we'd had a lot of crap players at that point. I suppose Ched Evans was electric for us, but then it did, ended up behind bars, so that went well. But he sort of came in and it took a bit of a slow start. He wasn't an instant hit. But then that 13-14 season, we were like really, really crap. But I just remember he stood out like head and shoulders above the rest. And like, we were really poor for most of that season. We were really poor. And he was like the only player that like sort of did anything. And it was the first time like I see a player, like I suppose other than Ched, where I'd be like really excited because he'd just be able to like pick the ball up and just like cut through defenders and like put it on a plate for someone or like stroke it home himself. And he seemed to be doing it like week in, week out, and he just seemed so exciting to watch. And I just got this excitement every time he was on the ball, and I sort of fell in love with him through that. And he ended up being really good for us. We ended up playing him as a striker at times, and he was scoring brilliant goals for us. And it was just consistently brilliant. I don't know why, I just took the shine into him just because I've always got excited when he's on the ball and he started delivering. And then also I remember having on my FIFA 15 career mode with Sheffield, I played him as a striker and I was like banging out 30 goals a season with him. So half of it's because of what he did in real life and half of it's because of my FIFA career mode save. But Jamie Murphy, as I always bang on about, he's my favourite Sheffield United player of all time.
Well, a FIFA career mode love story. We've all had one of them. Yeah. Well, like I say, mate, it's been great to get you on. It's been great to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Safe travels for all the Blades tomorrow. Hopefully, it's hopefully you lose about 8-0. And then best of luck for the rest of the season, but not tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we might be in the playoffs together. Who knows? It's
who knows?
There could be like 9 different teams in them 4 places.
That'd be, honestly, if I could pick a team that I'd like in the playoffs, just for the crack, it'd probably be you or like, I mean, Bournemouth, they're just a bit sunny Bournemouth. They're just
it's not the best, and also it's miles away. Whereas it'd be banging though, like the semi-finals that we'd have, like if because they're close. I'm not sure what allocation we got at your place, but I think decent allocations at both.
You got full end. You'll have the full
teams. End. Yeah, but it's like I know why you want us is because every time we've been in the playoffs, we've never won. We've never won a playoff.
True, that's another. But we've got a soft spot for Wembley. Wembley loves us. We went up against your rivals, and they scored the goal for us. and the guy that scored the goals now is centre back. Look at that. So
I was a Huddersfield fan that night. I remember. I think I didn't have Sky at the time, so I was listening to Radio Sheffield, and it was the one where your keeper didn't realise what had happened, then just ran off, and I was just there, and he said Forestieri's missed. I was dancing around my living room, going crackers, going come on. But I'm convinced that you said that Wembley loves you. I think Wembley is a Sheffield Wednesday fan because it absolutely despises Sheffield United. We've never won there. We've lost every time at Wembley, and we've never won a playoff. Like even if we've lost in the semis or the final, we've never won a playoff. And I think we've been in quite a few. I think we played 8 times at Wembley and lost every single one. Sometimes in a cup. I don't know how many playoffs we've been in, but we've never won one ever. Whether it's League One or the Championship, we've never won a playoff.
Well, do you know what? That's another thing. Let's just hope it goes to penalties and we'll be all good. But
Jesus Christ. Get Steve Simonson back. That ball's still travelling.
But it had to go to keepers, didn't it? So it just goes to show. But, mate, like I say, it's been great to get you on. Like I say, safe travels tomorrow.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy whatever little time you get in the morning at Huddersfield. And wish you the best for the rest of the season. Hopefully both Yorkshire clubs are up there come the end of the season. And hopefully we've got a more to celebrate soon. That's all. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Like I say, the reason I do it live is because you can go and watch it back then, and obviously you can get a reaction in the moment from us both now. and get our views, and obviously go back if you are at work or whatever. And yeah, but it just makes more sense to do it live, really, and it's better quality, surprisingly. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. We will have a match day vlog tomorrow, whether it'll be a one where I'm crying because we've lost us unbeaten streak, or it'll be a one where there's absolute bodies and the stewards are telling everyone to get off the seats again. We'll just have to wait and see. Early kickoff on Sky. I'll see you at the John Smith tomorrow. Take care, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, guys.